Can we just talk about how big my bun is for a second? Holy shit. Lots of pink, lots of black. It's cute. Hey guys, so for today's video, we're going to be talking about my favorite Sigma brushes. I like to do this video about once a year and update you guys on what are my favorite Sigma brushes that I'm using, whether they're face brushes and eye brushes. We're going to talk about all the brushes today. So Sigma is doing a little affiliate promo right now from today through June 12th, where if you use my code AngelaBright, you'll save 30% site-wide instead of the usual 10%. So that is a big discount for you guys, and I always really appreciate it when you use my code. So let's get into this. We're going to talk about all of my favorite brushes today. Here we go. So I keep all of my eye brushes in this little spinny container. It's by the Original Beauty Box. I don't know if they make this anymore. This thing is old. I have had this for years, but I love it for all of my eye brushes in here. Like, this is so fun. So if you regularly watch my videos, you're probably gonna know what my favorite brushes are, but this video is just for anyone who wants to know what are the best Sigma brushes. Let's start with eye brushes. So of course, I gotta start with the Sigma E35 blending brush. This is the brush that is in my favorites brush set with Sigma. It is just your perfect, typical fluffy blending brush. I use this mostly for crease work. So if I'm placing like a transition shade in my crease, I use this brush for it. It's also really good for just like softening out any edges like that, but this is like a must-have in my collection. Next is the E25 blending brush. So this one has more of a taper to it compared to the E35. You'll see the difference here. The E35 is just more fluffy and this one has a little taper here. So for the E25, I like this one because I can be a little more precise in my crease if I'm like building up shades and layering a nice look together. So this one's good for blending all the way from inner corner to outer corner. Also good for blending the lower lash line. Now let's get into the three baby blending brushes, and I think these are a must-have for anyone, especially if you have smaller or hooded eyes. So first we have the E27, which is just a smaller version of the E25 that I just talked about. So this one lets you be even more precise in the crease. I love this one for also like any work on the outer corner and again blending on the lower lash line. And then we have the E33 diffused crease brush, and this one is really small and the bristles are pretty long on this. So I like this one for blending right below my brow, kind of in smaller spaces, also like right here in the inner corner if like your big fluffy brush can't fit in there, and that's when I grab this brush. And then we have the E42 precision firm blending brush, and this one I've been using like a lot recently. So this one's a little denser than the E33. So like I said, the E33 has nice and long bristles and the E42 are shorter and denser. So that means that this brush is better for kind of packing on shadows, but because it has like a little fluff to it, it's also good at blending too. So I use this brush a lot on like my outer corner and inner corner if I'm doing like a halo eye. It's also really good for placing shadow along the lower lash line and blending it out. You can even do like a brow bone highlight, an inner corner highlight. Like honestly, I don't know what I did without this brush. So these are the 5 blending brushes that I like to use. A big fluffy one, a little more precision one, even more precise, a smaller fluffy one, and a denser one. All right, let's move on to brushes kind of for the lid. So my favorite lid brush is the Sigma E54 medium sweeper brush. It's just like a perfect flat brush, but the bristles are kind of like a medium length. So this brush is just perfect for packing shadow all over the lid. I use this brush dry. I also use it wet sometimes if I spray some setting spray on it. I've also really been liking the E20 short shader brush recently. This one is kind of like a shorter version of the E54. It's almost like if you just like cut off these bristles, you get the E20. So this one I really like for packing shadow on my lower lash line because it's so nice and short that is really going to build up that shadow down here. Or also if you're doing kind of any like smoky, smudgy eye, it's really good just to place that brush down and smudge anything out. And if you do have smaller eyelids, this E20 would also be good just for a lid brush for you as well. If this one's maybe too big for you, you would totally use this to pack on shadow on your lid. All right, let's move on to some more kind of detail brushes. So first we have the E30 pencil brush, and I can use this brush for like literally anything. So I like this one a lot for just smudging along my lower lash line. I like it a lot for inner corner, brow bone highlight. If I'm doing like a halo eye and really want to pack on shadow on my outer corner, on my inner corner. Pencil brushes are just such a necessity because you can do so many things with this. Next is the E21 smudge brush, and I like to use this if I'm using like a black eyeshadow. If I wanted to use like a black eyeshadow as a smudgy eyeliner, this is the brush I grab for that. I can just easily smudge eyeliner or eyeshadow along my top lash line. Also really good for the lower lash line as well. So this next brush I don't use a lot, but I feel like I had to mention it because everyone needs a good, just simple angled brush. This is the E65 small angle brush. So if you like to do like a winged eyeliner with a gel eyeliner or just with an eyeshadow, this brush is perfect for it, just to you know, do your little wing like that. You can also use this to fill in your eyebrows if you're using like a pomade or a powder. And then I also like to use Sigma's lip brushes as eye brushes because they're so small and detailed. So the LO4 is my absolute favorite for inner corner highlight because it's so itty bitty and precise. I use this brush every single day just to go boop, 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 right there, boop, 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 right there. I'm pretty sure the intended use for this brush is to like smudge out some like lipstick or lip liner, but I love it for the eyes. And then the LO5 is like your typical lip brush to apply lipsticks. Maybe if you're like a working makeup artist like that. It does have a little case too, so you're not gonna like make a mess for it, but I love this brush for cut creases because again, it's nice and small and precise and it works great for cream products. So I load this up with concealer. I can easily cut my crease like that, apply the concealer on my lid, good to go. So that was 12 brushes I just talked about. You definitely don't need all of these because a lot of them I talked about, I kind of use them for multiple purposes. But if you wanted a like complete collection of eye brushes, these 12 would be it for me. All right, let's move on to some face brushes, starting with my favorite foundation brush. So this is actually the F79. I think it's called it's so rubbed off because I use it all the time. It's the Concealer Blend Kabuki, but I love this for foundation. Sigma's really known for their F80 flat Kabuki brush, but I like this one because I like the rounder tip because it's really easy to like do circular motions and blend in your foundation. So if I don't want to use a sponge for my foundation, this is the foundation brush I go to. I just gotta mention that I have had some of these brushes for so long that the words are completely rubbed off on the handle, but I know it's Sigma because it says Sigma right here on the ferrule, but like these brushes last forever, I swear. Another go-to brush that I feel like everyone should have is just a good concealer brush. I don't know the name of this one, but I'm gonna link it down below because again, it's rubbed off. But I love this brush for spot concealing. I'll take like my NARS pot concealer and you know, conceal any little blemishes. It's also really good for like carving out the brows if you like to do that. I kind of stopped carving out my brows, but this is the brush I would use for that. I've recently been using this brush. This is the Soft Blend Concealer F64, and I love this one for blending out concealer under my eyes. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood to use a sponge, or I'm just like too lazy to go wet my sponge, so this is what I use this brush for. It literally fits perfect right under here. I also like to use this brush if I'm doing any like under eye corrector with like the Sigma Brightening Duo. Again, just perfect, fits right under your eyes. All right, since we're still kind of talking about the eye area, this is the Sigma E50 Large Fluff Brush, and I love this one for setting my eyelid. You guys know I love my RCMA powder. I use it every single day of my life, and I'll just take my powder on this brush and I will set my entire eyelid with it. I just love how big this brush is, so it's so easy to do that. It's also really good for packing on powder under your eyes. Again, I still use the RCMA powder. Take it on the tip of this brush and I just like jab it into my under eye creases so nothing will crease or move. Love this brush for just setting around my eyes. All right, a couple cheek brushes I've been loving. This one is pretty new, I think. It's the F44 Powder Sculpt Brush. I love the shape of this brush. It's kind of like a big fluffy fan, but I use it for bronzer. I kind of have a big forehead, so it's perfect for me just to like, I love the shape down the neck. It's perfect. For more cream products, I've really been liking the F76 Chiseled Cheek Brush. It looks like this. I use this with the new Mario Skin Perfector today, but I use this for a cream blush, a cream bronzer. It just fits perfectly along your cheeks. I kind of like smaller brushes for cream products so I can be nice and precise with them, but like, just look at how perfect this is. Another face brush I love is the F67 Skin Perfector brush. This brush has such a cool, unique shape. Like, it's pretty flat, but also like kind of tapered too. What I like to use this for is either setting under my eyes because again, it just fits perfectly right here, or I'll take like a powder foundation to kind of carve out my cheeks. And so for me, I like to pack like powder right down here, and this brush is just the perfect shape and size for that. Almost kind of like carving out your contour or bronzer. I love this one for that. One of the best highlighter brushes out there is the Sigma F03 High Cheekbone Highlighter. It does exactly what you think it can do. It's just the perfect shape for applying highlighter right on the top of your cheekbone. It's not too big, not too small. This has won like so many awards, I think, and it really is the perfect brush for this step. And then another kind of random powder brush that I love is the F37 Spotlight Duster. It's kind of like tulipy, I guess. It has a bit of a taper to it, but I like this for a powder blush because it's nice and fluffy. So it's easy just to apply your blush like that. Also bronzer too if you want. Any like powder products you could totally use this for. I forgot one. This one. This is the F78 Ultimate Bronze Brush, and you could totally use this for bronzer if you want, but for me, this is just way too big for bronzer. Like I said, I prefer this brush for bronzer because I can be a little more precise with it, but this brush is perfect for just setting your whole face with the loose powder, with like a translucent powder, because it literally just like covers your whole forehead in like 3 swipes. But it's honestly just so freaking soft. It would be good for like body bronzer if you like to do that, like down your neck, on your chest maybe. All right, and that is pretty much it for all of my favorite Sigma brushes. I feel like I got through that a little bit faster than I thought, but I really just picked out the brushes that I use every single time I do my makeup. Again, I'm gonna link every single brush down below and kind of what I use it for, just to make it easier for you if you're interested in picking any of these up. And don't forget to use my code AngelaBright to save 30% site-wide today through June 12th. You can use it on the brushes, also like the eyeshadow palettes. I've been loving the new Sigma powders. The Sizzle highlighter, the medium bronzer are just amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.